I was actually born on the farm in about 1938. We lived in a house that only one room was heated, the kitchen, and it had a big stove in it besides the cook stove. We raised livestock, hogs and cattle and chickens and ducks. Somewhere in there in the 40s, we got into the seed business and we had our own seed company. So we had a seed company called Cedarview Farms. Then eventually in the 60s, it became part of NC Plus. So my dad and I farmed, and somewhere maybe 50 years ago, he decided to build this large dam in Fillmore County, which at that time, maybe still is, was the largest privately owned lake in the county. It was 20 acres, and this is the one that we just finished repairing. Why don't we back up to when it was built? Because it was pasture and felt like we didn't pasture any animals really. Somebody talked to my dad about building that dam, and I guess he had kind of that idea, and they were talking. It was in talking stages maybe for 2 or 3 years. And then it happened that Biba out of Geneva, who was a big road contractor, needed to get his people working, and he didn't have any contracts early in the spring. So they came out and built the dam. It contained 30,000 yards, which would be a pretty good sized dam. And it was actually built for $10,000. And now to replace the tube, it cost over $70,000. I guess that's progress. I still felt like I just didn't want to break it open and not catch all of that water because it drains about 1,600 acres. 1 inch of runoff will fill the dam from the 1,600 acres. But I felt like I wanted to do that conservation practice because it wasn't serving really any other purpose. And there has been fishing in it most of the time. And normally it's been a good area for deer. We probably have 100 deer in that section because there's other parts to that's nicely wooded, and with the railroad right away going through there, they tell me that's the nicest section of the whole track going from Fairmont to Milligan because of them making cuts in a lot of trees and plum thickets. The tube had rusted out, so we were afraid it rusted out in the bottom. We were afraid that the water would go down through the tube and wash the bottom of the dam out. So we needed to save it in one way or another. You know, anytime we get large rains, and it doesn't make any difference where it's at. One year they had some big rains in Saline County and they took every bridge out of Swan Creek going across the whole county. So then they put some dams in there. That's one reason there's a number of dams in Saline County now. And now there's several more in Fillmore County too. There's one north of Milligan, 2 or 3 miles, large dam, and that all helps Turkey Creek. That's the one that really does the flooding. We try to do as much conservation as we possibly can, and I was most appreciative that the Upper Big Blue decided to help me out on that.